Hi, you guys. So happy you are here. I just wanted to run through real quick a little info about the container system. If you have not watched the BOD tutorial, make sure you go and watch that. It's going to tell you how to access all the resources on your Beachbody On Demand. It's going to tell you where to find your food list, how to calculate what meal plan you're supposed to eat in, and all that good stuff. So make sure you go back and watch that. So when you get your system in the mail, your shakes, and you might, some of the programs, if you bought your Beachbody On Demand challenge pack for a specific program, it may or may not have come with these containers. If it did not come with these, you can purchase these online for like, I think they're like $10 maybe. I'll have to see. And they might be even cheaper with your coach discount if you are a discount coach. Okay. Real quick, I just wanted to, I don't want to make this video very long, but I do want to cover just a few of the basics. So each container represents a food group, and this is a basics video. So if you've been with me for a long time, then this is definitely getting you back to the basics. Okay, green is all your vegetables, okay? And there is a food list on Beachbody On Demand that I'll show you in just a minute. That's going to tell you everything you can eat for the green container in all these containers. Purple is your fruits. Your red is your proteins, meats and eggs. Yellow is your carbs. Blue is your healthy fats, avocado, cheese, that kind of thing. And your two orange containers are dressings and seeds, and then you also get a teaspoon. Depending on what plan you're on, it tells you how many of each of these containers you get. So make sure you figure out what bracket you're in, so you're eating enough. That's one thing. You're not going to lose weight if you're not eating enough, and of course you're not going to lose weight if you're eating too much. I do suggest if you are nursing, you just eat up a bracket. So when you figure out, I'll show you in just a minute how to figure it out, what plan you're eating in. Once you fall into whatever bracket, just move yourself up to one plan so you have more food. If that's too much for you, then you can add just another protein or another carb in there, but you want to make sure and to be mindful of the carbs you are eating if you are nursing, because things like oatmeal is good for you when you're nursing, and necessarily not the like white potatoes. Okay, it's going to help your supply. Anyway, that's a totally different topic. Okay, so what I wanted to just, let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so here we have the 21-Day Fix program. This meal plan that I'm about to show you goes along with every single program you do, okay? Some do have a specific meal plan that you can follow. However, this one can go with anything. If you're following the 2B mindset, it's not going to be with the portion container, so it's going to be something different, and we can talk about that. Just message me. Okay, so if you don't know how to get here, check out that BOD tutorial, and I'll show you how I got to this page. I want you to click on, you can click on Start here. I want you to read through all this good information. And this right here, it's all PDF, so anything you want to print out, it's a good idea to print out. One thing I always suggest you print out is the calendar. Okay, so this is going to tell you, okay, that's the workout calendar. Okay, this right here is going to tell you how to calculate what bracket to eat in. So it's going to take your weight, you multiply it by 11, you take that number, add 400, and then subtract 750. Okay, whatever this number is, you're going to look up here and find where you fall, okay? So whatever that is, that's the plan you're eating in. It's going to tell you how many veggies, fruits, proteins, carbs, healthy fats, how many of each container you're allowed in a day, okay? Now, it seems like these containers are not very big. However, you can stuff them full, and you'll be surprised how much can actually fit in there. It is important that you eat all your containers, okay? You don't leave any containers. They don't roll over the next day or anything like that. You have to eat all your containers in the day. Some people say, you know, it's hard to get all the containers in, and some tell me that, you know, they're hungry. Give it 2 weeks 1.5 to 2 weeks, and your body will start adjusting. Depending on what your eating habits were like before, is going to tell a lot of how you're going to react after, or how your body's going to feel the change whenever you start following these containers. Sorry, you guys have a back cold. Okay, so this runs down its own little thing on how to follow. It gives you sample meal plans. This right here is awesome. It tells you how to measure for good measurements, and then it gives you a little tracker sheet so you can jot down. Oh, it has a little line for you right here, so you can write down your measurements, your before measurements, and then your after measurements. Do those, you'll be glad you did. Okay, so if we go back, one thing I want you to look at is the food list. Okay, this is really important, you guys. And one thing I want to say is, if you are following this, it is not necessarily approved if it's not on this list. Okay, so it wants you to get away from all the processed foods. So like when you find something in the store and you comment on here and you ask, what does this count as a container? If it's not on the list, it's necessarily not approved. So those are the things that you want to be mindful of and not have every single day. I'm not saying you cannot have them. I'm just saying don't eat them. It's not something you want in your diet every day. Treat yourself to it or have it once a week or whatever it may be. But if it's not on the list, I would not suggest eating it every single day and putting it as one of your staple meals, okay? So here you'll find everything under each container. This is what is approved, okay? This right here, this box right here is your free foods. This is what you can add to your water and everything that you can eat or drink and have as much of and not count for anything, okay? Your green container. Just real quick, run through that so you know what counts as a green. Some things, I know I mentioned this in the BOD tutorial, there's some things that you might think are a vegetable that are actually over, like peas is one thing I mentioned, is one thing that you think green peas would be a green container because it's a vegetable, but however, it actually falls in the yellow container. This is broken up by how much sugar is in something. So if it has a lot of sugar in it, more than likely it's going to be count as a purple or a carb, depending on, the sugar in it. Okay, so under fruits, one thing I want to point out is a half a banana. I said this in the other video too, but I just wanted to mention it again. A half a banana is considered right here, 1 serving. So a lot of times, we just eat a banana to eat a banana, but half a banana, if you add that to your shake, half banana, if you're just eating it, that's 1 serving. So if you eat a whole banana, you're going to have to count it as 2 purples, okay? So make sure you just know how much of each thing you can have. If it does not fit in the container, it's going to tell you how much you can have. So for asparagus, you're obviously not going to shove 10 spears into 1 green container. So it tells you exactly how much you can have. 2 eggs. I'm just going to go over things that I'm always eating. 2 eggs is considered 1 protein. Greek yogurt is considered a red container. It's a protein, okay? Make sure you're looking at this, okay? So yogurt plain, 2%. Greek yogurt plain, 1%, okay? So it just kind of tells you, depending on what you're buying, tells you how many slices of turkey is considered, and this is deli turkey, okay? It wants you to get away from the process. So this is not the processed turkey sandwich meat you just buy out of the case. You want to go to, the meat department and actually get them to slice you some good deli turkey. Okay, this over here, your yellow container, it's going to tell you, all your carbs, whether it's rice, quinoa, how much you can have of it, and that type of thing. It's gonna, if it doesn't have necessarily out to the side how much, just fill your container up. Blue container, that's, like I said, all your fats, and your nuts, that's considered a fat, your cheeses, that kind of thing. It does tell you how much of each nut you can have, so that's not something you're going to fill your container up with, because 8 cashews will not fill your container up. However, that is considered 1 blue container. So that's what I want you to be mindful of when you're eating, is eat things that are going to fill you up. So if your snack, you're choosing to have almonds or cashews as a snack, you might have that with a purple as a snack. That may not be something, if you're still hungry, that may be something to change, okay? So because 12 almonds isn't going to fill you up necessarily like something else would, okay? Orange container is all your seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, that kind of thing. Your dressings, there are recipes for dressings, okay? I'm going to show you where to find those in just a minute. And then, of course, your teaspoons are all your olive oil, or all your oils and your nut butters and that kind of thing, okay? Print this out. It's good to have on hand. Another thing you can also do is download the 21 Day Fix app, and it has like easy access where you can go to it when you just want to, you're in the grocery store and you just want to look at it real quick. Okay, so you look under the eating plan, it's going to have this book, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom. I briefly went over this in BOD. It's going to have different recipes right here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it has recipes based on containers. So green container recipes, and then red container. And when you get to orange, I'm pretty sure it's going to have dressings. Dressings, looky there. Okay, so these are all the approved dressings. One dressing that I have found that I really like, it's not necessarily on the list. So I wouldn't technically say she approves it, but it's a good Greek yogurt dressing. And I really don't even use a whole orange. That's a lot of dressing. And when you start filling that container up, you'll see that you really don't need as much dressing as you think. Okay. Let's see if I can stop the screen share. Okay. So you guys, one thing I just want you to be mindful of is what you're putting into your body. Make sure it's good choices from the list. Like I said, if it's something that is not on the list, just be mindful of how many times you have it. If you're, for some reason, if it's working for you and you're losing weight, great. If you hit a standstill, those are the things that I would try modifying, adjusting, tweaking in your meal plan to try to figure out what it is that gets you over that hump. Okay, you might be at that point now from last group. You hit you were losing weight, rocking along, and all of a sudden you hit a plateau. Just change up when you have those containers. Okay, so it's a good idea to look at the times of day that you're eating those containers. So some people find that carbs are something that's good to have, all in the morning or before lunch or before 3 o'clock period, not save them for dinner. For me, I like to have my bigger meal at night, so I like to have that carb in the evening, so I'm not snacking, because I like to snack when I'm home in the evening. So just whatever works for you, whatever you're adding to that shake, make sure you're counting it as a container, because that's not a freebie. If you're adding peanut butter, if you're adding almond milk, or whatever it is, make sure you're counting it as a container. And I really think that wraps up the containers. If you have any questions or you're still feeling overwhelmed, please reach out. We'll help you. We'll walk you through it. If you have some problems or hit a mind block on setting up your meal plan, we can definitely help you with that. We have a few examples that we're going to share, so check those out. You don't have to follow them exact, but use them as a good guide, and use some of the ideas on there. Try different things. That's what this is all about too, is as you don't like vegetables, the more you just try new things, your palate will adjust to what you keep giving it. So it's crazy how much my taste buds have changed since I've been doing this. Things I never liked before are some of my favorites now. So okay, I think that's all I have. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out. If not, I'm looking forward to a great 3 weeks. Bye.